Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Mr. Fester's neighborhood. Yeah, okay. I'm going to address cheap guitars. My very good friend Ed Dana had a little rant on cheap guitars, and Ed has a lot of good points. Ed has been a gigging musician his whole life. He's a real pro. He plays on a regular basis and has done it for a long time. He knows what he's talking about. Okay, that said, cheap guitars are getting better. So this example, I'm not here to be fanboy for Firefly guitars. I'm not. Are they as good as a Gibson or a Fender? Hell no. Are they as good as an Epiphone or a Squire? Not the better Epiphones and Squires. Are they better than the cheap Epiphones and Squires? Yeah, and that's the price point they're at. So that's my point for this. This is cheaper than a Squire Affinity Strat. This is priced where the Squire Sonic series is priced, and it's nowhere near what this is. So that's the point. So Ed pointed out, not picking on you, Ed, you know I love you. All stainless steel is not created equal, and I don't doubt that for a minute. These frets are supposed to be stainless steel. Stainless steel frets do not mean crap to me. I love nickel silver frets. This just happens to be what's on here. Yeah, what quality stainless steel is it? I don't know. I did a refret on my Kramer Striker, and I know I used nickel silver Jescar frets, and they're like top of the line, some of the best frets that you can get, and I will put those up against these any day and tell you they're better. So there's that. Okay. So I agree with you there, Ed. That's for sure. I also agree with you that even though this is a Switchcraft style toggle switch like what comes in a Gibson or an Epiphone, if I was to sit here and reef it back and forth for a while, I'm not going to guarantee you it's not going to break. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Same thing with these potentiometers. They're full-sized. They're nondescript, non-branded. They're not CTS, that's for sure. I'm going to say if you sat there and twisted them back and forth to see how many times you could do it before you had a problem, CTS will win hands down. I have no doubt at all. This wood may not have been dried the best, although it is nice wood. The finish, although pretty, you can tell was laid on thick. So if you look at it right in the light, you can see it's not the quality of like one of the better Epiphones inspired by Gibsons. If you look at those, you will notice a difference. The finish is a little nicer. It's put on in more coats that are lighter coats. So there is that. The thing I had to find out, and it's a really, really good point, is using this in a live situation. Cheap guitars, in the past, you've had to have a good guitar or at least good pickups. Because if you don't have good pickups, when you get in a live band situation from back in the day, see this, we're going back to before all of these modeling amps and silent stages and all this, back to the good old days when you had amps and real drums on stage. You had to be able to play loud without your guitar feeding back, or it was useless. Okay? So you'd buy one of these cheap guitars and they would turn into the singing sword. And that is a very, very, very good point. The thing is, these clowns that are making these Fireflies, I don't know about any of those other cheap brands, okay? I don't know. The clowns that are making the Fireflies, which is why I have bought my fourth one, are listening to people. The Fireflies first came out. They're like, wow, this is a really nice looking guitar, and it plays pretty nice and stuff, but the fret ends are a little sharp, and the pickups are absolutely terrible. They're microphonic. You could talk into them and hear yourself coming out the amp, and if you put any gain on it at all, I mean, it was not a singing feedback. It just went straight to a high-pitched squeal. But they listened. That's when they went to the ball-end stainless steel frets. I'm not sure what their process is. Obviously, they treat the ends of them before they go in the guitar. Okay, those pickups that I talked about, they fixed them. They listened to people and they fixed them. They knew that was the big, big, big downfall for this company's pickups. So they changed the magnets from ceramic to Alnico. They also wax potted them. I saw a video somebody did that took one of the old ones apart, and there was actually a flaw, the way the two coils sat together, that they didn't fit tight, and that they actually had movement inside the pickup. Oh, there's your recipe for a microphonic pickup right there. So they took care of that. They changed the magnets. They're now wax potted. I'm thinking they just got their pickups from someplace else. I don't know that for sure. So, with no further ado, the whole point of this video is to give my demonstration of could you use this live, or will it turn into the singing sword? We're about to find out. Let's roll film. Okay, so this is for the sake of science. Decibel meter. Oh, right here. Decibel meter. Monster 100-watt PV Windsor all tube amp, 100-watt tubes. Haven't used it in a while. I can smell the dust burning off the back. For my safety. Okay, as you saw, I reached a hefty number, almost 120 decibels on the decibel meter without an iota of feedback, playing through a massive 100-watt all-tube PV Windsor amp through a big Fender 412 cabinet loaded with Fender USA speakers. This one company, at least, I can't speak for the other ones, is fixing those issues. You could use this. Would I be comfortable using it? Heck no. If I'm going out to play, I'm going to take probably one of my Epiphones or my Mexican Fenders, just because I don't want to take a Gibson out and have something happen to it. But probably taking one of those, or one I built myself, because I know that's good. This, if I took it, I'd have something else just to be safe, because I really don't know. I'm not saying yes or no for that. But I just wanted to do the test on the pickups, because I was pretty convinced, because I used a little bit of gain, and I was pretty convinced they had the pickups fixed so that they wouldn't squeal. Now, as to the quality of the sound, that's up to you, and you can talk to Glenn Fricker on that too, because he says that high gain, it doesn't matter, and I tend to agree with him too. But I don't want to get anybody too stirred up here. So, that's the story for today. We're sticking to it. Bye.